Go.
Okay, class, today what we're going to do, we're going to continue our study with plate tectonics. Now, we have spent a lot of time with plate tectonics, and by now, hopefully, you are beginning to understand that paleontologists and geologists are able to make some conclusions about the age of the Earth based on rock fossils, in rocks, and also rocks, okay? We spent a lot of time talking about that, talking about how scientists are able to figure out the approximate age or the relative age versus the absolute age of rocks, okay? Then we went on and we talked about how scientists use those clues in order to give a geological time scale when things happen. And we know that scientists have dated the Earth to be about 4.6 billion years old. And we talked about their four time periods. We talked about the Cenozoic time period, the time period that we are in right now, which is Cenozoic. And then we have the Mesozoic time period. And then from that one, we also have the so Cenozoic, Mesozoic, Paleozoic, and then we have the Precambrian time period. From there, we moved on and we talked about the how important the volcanoes and earthquakes were in order to help us to understand the internal structure of the Earth, which would, with the volcanoes, obviously with the magma coming from the mantle, okay, we were able to figure some things out from that. And also from the earthquake, we were able to figure out, scientists are able to figure out the internal state of matter of the Earth based on the earthquake waves. And so yesterday, or actually two days ago, because this is a new different day, we looked at the puzzle pieces and we tried to figure out how will those puzzle pieces come together in order to make up what we now know as Pangea. And then finally, we watched a couple videos talking about how at certain plate boundaries, depending on how the plates are interacting, it would produce certain things like volcanoes and earthquakes. So today our assignment is we're going to actually map the plates, okay? We're going to map the lithospheric plates. So the first thing you're going to do, class, you're going to read the procedure. And the procedure is found in the book, and obviously you don't have the book, so it's found on a link, and you're going to read these pages. Can you get a close up of the pages to me? You're going to read these pages, D37, D38, D39, D40, and D41, okay? So, and the instructions are very clear, but I want to just make it even clearer for you today because I'm just such a nice teacher. What you're going to do when you first start, you are going to take a screenshot of this handout and this handout. Take a screenshot with your iPad. Show the iPad, Jimmy. They know how to take a screenshot. So we're going to take a screenshot of this and this, of both handouts. And before you start the activity, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to say whether or not you agree or disagree with these statements. Do you agree with them or do you disagree? If you agree, you're going to put a plus mark or a plus sign. If you disagree, you're going to put a minus sign. And then after you finish the entire activity, then you're going to come back and restate your answer. So if your answer was a plus before you did the activity, or a minus, whatever it is, then after you do the activity and you have more information, then you should be able to make a better answer. Okay, so now you're going to have your answer after you have completed the assignment. But guess what, class? We need evidence. What is your evidence for your answer? So you're going to put your evidence from the activity. Now, so that's the first part. The second part, what you're going to do, and I wrote down my thing here. Okay, so here on this paper, can you get this paper real close? Get the paper real close. See the paper? Okay, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to, after you take a screenshot, you're going to color the land. Now, when I say land, class, that means not water. Not water. Don't color the water, okay? color the land, okay? And the land, like this right here, you know what that is. What's that? That is South America, okay? So you're gonna color all the land in a light color. See, the color is light. We don't want a dark color. So I'm not gonna do it for you, but you're gonna color all the land, okay? You should know where the land is, okay? All the land, you color the land in. That's step one. Step two is after you color the land, you're going to trace the dash lines. These dash lines are actually the plate boundaries. The plate boundaries. Now, in some cases, the plate boundaries mimic what the actual continent looks like. Now, watch this. So you're going to take your marker, not your marker because you're going to do it on your iPad. You're going to trace it. See that? You're tracing all of this, okay? All the dash lines. And I'm not going to do it for you, but I just want to start it for you. And then when you're done tracing all those dash lines, next thing to do, you're going to plot the volcanoes. So right here, we have 3 blue charts. And here you can see from the blue chart that the name and location of the earthquake. So here it is, the earthquake in Northern Atlantic Ocean. You're going to map it on the chart, 13J. So just like in your math class, when you plot a graph, right? When you plot points on a graph, you're going to look at the 2 numbers where they intersect on the X and Y axis, right? In our case here, we don't have, this right here is going to be like the Y axis, this X axis. So the first point, what's the first point that it says? 13J, that's correct. So you're going to find J, and you're going to find 13, and where they intersect, you're going to put a dot. Now, I'm sorry, either a dot or an X. I want X is actually X. Okay, it's X in your directions. Okay, and then the next one is 13K. I find 13 and I find K, and where they intersect, put an X. Okay. Now the next one, I'm going to find one that says 16.5 between L and M. That simply means I'm going to go to 16 and not 17. Between 16 and 17 is 16.5, and then it says between L and M. So I'm going to find L, and I'm going to find M, and I'm going to put an X there. See that, class? That's all you have to do for that part. We're not quite done yet. So that was step 3. So we have two blue charts. You're going to map the volcanoes and earthquakes on both blue from both blue charts. Then the next thing you're going to do, if you keep reading the instructions, it's going to tell you to name each plate. So how do I find the name of the plate? I'm going to look at my third blue chart. When I look at my third blue chart, see the third blue chart here? It tells me the name of the plate. And you can see here that the name of the plate, in some cases, it corresponds to the actual continent name, okay? Very close to it. Africa, it says that Africa is going to be African, the African plate. And then the direction. Now, some people, let me see. I like to memorize the directions nice and we. Nice and we. I know that's not really nice, but that's how I do it. So this is north, south, west, east. If I'm going northeast, I'm going to be between north and between east. So I'm going to draw an arrow this way for northeast. Does that make sense? Because I am not going north all the way and I'm not going east all the way. I'm going in between north and east. Okay. So now if you look over here on our blue chart again, I'm going to name the African plate. And here is Africa right here, right? I'm going to name the African plate and I'm going to name it real big. Real big. The African plate, because the African plate is just not Africa. It's actually, when you do this, you'll see that it's more than just Africa. Okay? So, the African plate, I just named that. I kind of messed up a little bit. That's okay. And then the direction of movement, it says northeast. And I know that northeast is going to be that way. So, I'm going to draw my arrow. I'm going to use a different color this time. Where's my black? I'm going to draw my arrow so it's moving northeast. See, wait a minute. I'm going to make that nice and straight. Northeast. Okay? So, That's all you have to do, class, really, is follow directions. Step 1, screenshot. Step 2, color the land. Step 3, color in the dashed lines, all the dashed lines. Step 4, plot the volcanoes and earthquakes from the 2 blue charts. And then finally, the last step, you're gonna name each plate and the direction. Okay, and then of course you have to do the analysis questions. So class, good luck. I know you can do it. Think about how this all plays in and ties into our study of plate tectonics. Have a nice one.